हेलो एवरीवन, आज की इस क्लास में आप सभी का स्वागत है। और आज की इस क्लास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे रीनल प्रॉक्सिमल कॉन्वोल्यूटेड ट्यूब्यूल्स और पीसीटी जो है प्रॉक्सिमल कॉन्वोल्यूटेड ट्यूब्यूल, इसमें किस तरह से ट्यूबुलर सीक्रेशंस होता है और किस तरह से ट्यूबुलर रीअब्जॉर्प्शन होता है। तो पार्ट ऑफ पीसीटी वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस इन टुडेज क्लास. Okay, I hope in earlier classes whatever I discussed you are getting all the points. So now moving forward in today's class, what is PCT? PCT की जो स्ट्रक्चर है हम ऑलरेडी देख चुके हैं. So यहाँ पर आप देखिए कौन कौन से फिल्ट्रेट जो है फिल्टर होकर आ रहे हैं. Like what kind of ions are coming here in Bowman capsules. Okay, Bowman space. So the filtrate are like sodium ion, potassium ion, okay, calcium ion, magnesium ion, okay, and then chloride ion, biphosphate ion, bicarbonate ions, okay. Then we have amino acids, lipid, clear, and then lactate, glucose, as well as some smaller proteins. Smaller proteins are like insulin, as well as like hemoglobin. If sometime the hemoglobin may damage or some kind of things, then it also move in this side. Okay, now look at this. We must know about the osmolarity because all the concept depending on the osmolarity. Clear? So how is osmolarity affect? So here look at this. Here we have a osmolarity 300 milliosmolar per liter. Okay, so the blood is 300 milliosmolar per liter. Okay, so what is osmolarity? Basically we must know about the what is osmolarity. So look at here, osmolarity. Okay, so osmolarity is basically how much molecule present in per kilogram of solvent. Okay, how much molecules are present in moles per kilogram in solvents. Okay, so this is about the osmolarity of the blood. So blood having osmolarity in this area having a 300 milliosmolar blood. Okay, and the same osmolarity is we found over here 300 milliosmolar. Okay, so the same osmolarity is here. Now look at about the different ion. So we have a different ions like sodium, potassium. So what happened with these different ion, how we are going to absorb them and how we are going to secrete them. So first we must learn about the tubular reabsorption, and then second we will learn about the tubular secretion in the PCT. So if we are just looking on the reabsorption and secretion, then look at here. Suppose this is our, okay, this is Bowman capsule. Okay, so tubular secretion is what, and this is the blood vessels. Okay, so what is tubular reabsorption? So this is Bowman capsule. So any compound, if any compound moving from tubular region to blood vessels, then it is known as a tubular reabsorption. Okay, this is known as a reabsorption, and reabsorption is basically a passive process. Okay, passive and active process, both process it contain. But if some compound we are taking from blood to the tubular region, then it is known as a tubular secretion. And tubular secretion is generally a active process. Okay, so remember one thing, that reabsorption is an active and passive both process, and secretion is generally a active process. Active process means it require ATP. Okay, so this is two concept about reabsorption and secretion. Now moving on the sodium and potassium ion. Okay, so these are various transporters or channels present over here. Now look at here, this is the channel present here. Okay, similarly so many other channels present here. So these are sodium potassium ATPase pump. What they are? These are sodium potassium ATPase pump. Okay, ATPase pump. So whatever I draw here in the green, such these, this is the basolateral membrane. This is what? A basolateral membrane. So I am drawing here the same sodium potassium ATPase pump. Sodium potassium ATPase pump, what it will do? Okay, so it moves sodium and potassium ion in the presence of ATP. So now look at here what happened with the sodium and potassium ion. Look at here, here 3 sodium ion are moving from this region to this region. Okay, and then sodium to potassium ion move from extracellular side to this cellular region. Clear? Similarly, again 3 sodium moving out and then 3 सोडियम बाहर जाएंगे अंदर से और 2 सोडियम जो है बाहर से अंदर आएंगे. बट एक्चुअली ये सब इनकी कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट के अपोज में हो रहा है. ओके, सो कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट के अपोज में हो रहा है. दैट्स व्हाई दे रिक्वायर एटीपी. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई दे रिक्वायर व्हाट? एटीपी. क्लियर? And this site is basically a basolateral site. This site is basically a basolateral membrane. Okay, so similarly such kind of same kind of thing happen here. Look at here, I am making the same sodium potassium ATPase pump over here, and look at here, it will move 3 sodium then this side and 2 potassium inside. Okay, same things happen, 3 sodium outside and 2 potassium inside. Clear everyone? Okay, यहाँ तक ये चीज आप लोगों को समझ में आ गई. अब देखिए, when 3 sodium moves up, 2 potassium moves in. Okay, just because of 3 sodium moves out, there is a decrease in the concentration of sodium. So sodium concentration going down. Okay, and potassium concentration moving up. Clear? सोडियम की कंसंट्रेशन कम हो जाएगी और पोटेशियम की कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ जाएगी. क्लियर एवरीवन? ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट हैपनिंग विद द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम एंड पोटेशियम विद इन द ट्यूबुलर सेल, पीसीटी ट्यूबुलर सेल. ओके, नाउ व्हाट हैपन? There is another transporter. That transporter is known as a sodium glucose symporter. This transporter is known as a sodium glucose symporter. Okay, so what happened? Look at here. Here is the sodium ion and here is the glucose. Okay, the sodium here is in the tubular region. Okay, this is the PCT region. In PCT there is a higher concentration of sodium, and this is the region where sodium concentration is low. So the sodium ion is moving from tubular region to this cellular part. Okay, so sodium ion are reabsorbed or moved by sodium glucose symporter. Okay, so now look at this, the sodium ion move here. But what happened with the glucose? Now look at here, the glucose concentration is high inside. Okay, and glucose concentration is low inside, in this side. Okay, glucose concentration यहाँ पर कम है but glucose concentration यहाँ पर ज़्यादा है. Okay, so what happened? Glucose should move opposite to its concentration gradient, क्योंकि जनरली जो कंसेप्ट है हायर कंसंट्रेशन से लो कंसंट्रेशन की तरफ जाया जाता है, बट यहाँ पर वी रिक्वायर एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ ग्लूकोज. सो व्हाट हैपन? इट रिक्वायर एटीपी. ओके, इट रिक्वायर एटीपी, बट व्हाट हैपन? just sodium is moving by this transporter, this symporter, by this way. So sodium is taking glucose along with it. सोडियम जो है ग्लूकोज को भी अपने साथ लेके चला जाएगा बिना एटीपी को यूज किए हुए। मैं क्या कह रहा हूं आप लोग समझिए, यहां पर एटीपी का यूज नहीं होगा एंड ग्लूकोज इज मूविंग in this direction to this direction with the help of sodium. Okay, so such kind of transport is known as a secondary active transport. This is known as a secondary active transport. Okay, clear everyone? Clear? So this is happened with that. Now look at here what happened with the glucose over here. Now here we have another channel. So from this channel glucose is moving into the blood vessels. So by this way glucose is absorbed, okay, by in the 100% absorption rate. Okay, so here we are absorbing glucose by absorbing it 100%. Okay, along with the glucose there are lactate. Okay, we have a lactate. So lactate, these are lactate. Okay, so lactate are also absorbed along with the glucose, and they again similarly lactates are also absorbed in the percent of 100. Clear everyone? So glucose भी 100% reabsorb हो गया और lactate भी 100% reabsorb हो गया. Okay, now we are talking about another kind of ion. So another kind of compound, that is amino acid. So now what happened with the amino acid? Amino acid के साथ में और क्या होगा? So look at here. Here we have another same channel, or we can say symporter or transporter. Okay, so this transporter is known as a sodium and amino acid transporter. Okay, so look at here again, this is the region, again cellular region of PCT. So in this region what happened, again here I am making again sodium potassium ATPase pump. Okay, so again sodium potassium ion concentration moving according to its direction. So 3 sodium moving in this direction and 2 sodium moving in this direction. Again 3 sodium moving in this direction and 2 sodium moving in this direction. Clear everyone? Due to this what happened, sodium ion concentration going down and potassium ion concentration moving up. Okay, so again look at here, sodium is moving by in this direction from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, and but what happened with the again amino acids are in higher concentration here, but they are in the lower concentration here. क्लियर एवरीवन? अमाइनो एसिड की कंसंट्रेशन इधर ज़्यादा है और इधर कम है, ट्यूबुलर रीजन में कम है. तो अब ये अपने कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट के अकॉर्डिंग जाएंगे तो इनको एटीपी का यूज़ करना पड़ेगा. बट अगेन वही जो ग्लूकोज के साथ यहाँ पर हुआ था वही सेम टू सेम अमाइनो एसिड के साथ में होगा. क्या होगा यहाँ पर आप देखिए, अमाइनो एसिड भी सोडियम के साथ मूव कर जाएंगे और एटीपी का इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे. एंड दिस ट्रांसपोर्ट इज अगेन नॉन एज अ सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. Okay everyone, here amino acid, glucose and lactate, okay, are absorbing in 100%. So these are the three important compounds, glucose, amino acid and as well as lactate. We are absorbing them in 100%. Clear everyone? Now looking on further another ion, that is our bicarbonate. Okay, now look at here, this is the bicarbonate over here. Okay, so what happened with the bicarbonate? Okay, so now look at here, here we have a CO2 in the blood. Okay, here we have a CO2 in the blood. This is the blood vessels. Okay, capillaries basically. So through capillaries, CO2 is moving within the cell. Okay, CO2 is moving within the cell. Now CO2 is combining with the H2O. Okay, CO2 is combining with the H2O. Now CO2 after combining with H2O in the presence of carbonic anhydrase, this is the enzyme name is carbonic anhydrase. So in the presence of carbonic anhydrase, it is making H2CO3. It is making what? H2CO3. Now again in the H2CO3 is again divided in H plus ion and HCO3 minus ion. Okay, now this H plus ion is moved into the tubular region by a transporter that is known as a sodium hydrogen transporter. So here we have a sodium, okay, and then sodium moving inside and hydrogen ion moving in this side. Clear everyone? So now look at here, hydrogen moving this side by sodium hydrogen antiporter. This is known as an antiporter because both ion moving in different direction. Whenever both ion moving different direction, such kind of transporter is known as an antiporter. And whenever a transporter from both ion moving in the same direction, that such kind of transporter is known as a symporter. So remember what is antiporter and what is symporter. So now from here this is the antiporter. So from sodium ion moving inside, okay, sodium moving inside, clear, and hydrogen moving in this side. Clear everyone? Now hydrogen is combining with the SCO3 and it is making H2CO3. It is making what? H2CO3 in the presence of carbonic anhydrase. Clear? Okay, are you able to understand? Now what happened? यहाँ पर जो बाइकार्बोनेट आयन था वो अगेन H2CO3 में कन्वर्ट हो गया. तो अब यहाँ पर हमने क्या किया? HCO3 का तो डायरेक्टली रीअब्जॉर्प्शन तो हुआ नहीं, तो अब HCO3 बाइकार्बोनेट जो आयन है उसका रीअब्जॉर्प्शन कैसे होगा? सो यहाँ पर आप देखिए बाइकार्बोनेट आयन जो है डायरेक्टली इस डायरेक्शन से रीअब्जॉर्ब हो जाता है. डायरेक्टली HCO3 आर मूविंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. Okay, so by this way they are reabsorbed. So this is a different kind of mechanism. We are reabsorbing HCO3 minus bicarbonate ion by a different mechanism, by indirect manner. Okay. Now look at here. अभी तक हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं सोडियम के बारे में और ग्लूकोज के बारे में, लैक्टेट. सो यहाँ पर साथ में देखिए और क्या होता है. What about the H2O? What about the H2O? H2O के साथ में क्या होता है? So now look at here what happened with the H2O. Okay, so H2O is also moving like similar like sodium. Okay, sodium is taking along with that. Okay, so H2O is also moving with similar kind of thing. Okay, so H2O is moving along with the sodium. So this kind of reabsorption is known as obligatory H2O reabsorption. This is known as a obligatory H2O reabsorption. Because here we are absorbing it with the help of sodium and like glucose. Okay, everyone. So this is about the H2O absorption. Clear everyone? Now looking at the other ions, what happened with the calcium, magnesium, what happened with the calcium, magnesium chloride and the other ion like potassium. Okay, so now look at here what happened with the potassium, calcium, magnesium as well as chloride ion. Okay, so now look at here, these are the two cells and this is the space between the cells. So this is the space between the cells. So these all ions are absorbed by this space. Okay, all of these ions are absorbed by this space. Such kind of reabsorption is known as a paracellular reabsorption. Okay, paracellular reabsorption. Okay, so what happened here? Chloride is absorbed almost 50%. Okay, as well as potassium is also absorbed 50 to 55%. Okay, and calcium and magnesium are reabsorbed in a little amount. Clear everyone? So now till now we already discussed about the absorption of sodium bicarbonate. Now look at here, bicarbonate is almost 90% absorbed. Okay, 90% reabsorb, as well as we already talked about chloride and potassium and sodium. Now look at here, we are absorbing sodium almost 65%. We are reabsorbing sodium. Okay, now look at other compounds. Like other compound, we have lipids. Okay, so now looking on the lipids, what happened with the lipids? Clear? So one of the important compound in the lipid is urea. What is it? Is urea. Urea is a lipid derivative compound. Okay, so how lipid is reabsorbed? So lipids are basically reabsorbed by directly. Okay, so they are absorbed by direct passive diffusion. They are absorbed by passive diffusion. So that is very simple. And urea, so we are absorbing lipid almost 100%. Okay, and urea, part of urea is reabsorbed, not all the urea is reabsorbed. So this is important parameter over here where we have to look. Lipid are almost 100% reabsorbed, and urea basically not absorbed totally, but some part of it is reabsorbed. Clear everyone? Now we are looking on further smaller proteins. I discuss here, like I discuss here insulin. What I discuss? Insulin and hemoglobin. Okay, so what happened with the insulin and what happened with the hemoglobin? Now look at here. Here we have insulin. Okay, here we have insulin and here we have a hemoglobin. So what happened with them? Okay, so how अब आप लोगों के सामने ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा कि हीमोग्लोबिन आखिर कैसे पहुंच गया. ओके, सो कुछ ऐसी कंडीशंस है, सम आर द कंडीशन लाइक इन विच देयर इज अ हीमोलाइसिस. अगर किसी डिजीज कंडीशन में अगर हीमोलाइसिस हो जाता है तो उस कंडीशन में हीमोग्लोबिन यहाँ पर पहुंच जाएगा. ओके, सो दिस इज द कंडीशन. नाउ लुक एट हियर. हियर वी ऑन द सेल वी हैव व्हाट? रिसेप्टर. यहाँ सेल्स पर हमारे पास में क्या होते हैं? रिसेप्टर होते हैं. एंड दीज आर द लाइक दिस इज द इंसुलिन. ओके, दिस इज द इंसुलिन एंड दिस इज व्हाट? hemoglobin. Okay, so from these receptor further reabsorb or engulf over here, and they are reaching in this side. Okay, so this is receptor and this is molecule. This is receptor and this is molecule. Okay everyone, so now what happened here? We have other enzyme. Here we have a enzyme, hemolytic enzyme, that is hemolytic enzyme. Okay, this hemolytic enzyme degrading them and converting in various degrading molecules. So these degrading molecules are look like this. Okay, so these degrading molecule looking like this way. Okay, so what happened? Receptor are again reutilize and move in this direction. Okay, so again we can reutilize the receptor, but the hemoglobin and insulin are degraded here in the amino acid. They are degraded in the form of amino acid, and then amino acid are moved into the blood vessels. Okay, in the blood stream. So by this way we are absorbing insulin and hemoglobin. Clear everyone? So this is all about the reabsorption. We discuss about the each and every kind of ion. I hope you are able to understand the reabsorption. Now looking on the secretion part, tubular secretion, and tubular secretion is basically a active process. Okay, I already discussed earlier. So what kind of thing we totally excrete in the tubular region, मतलब कि कौन कौन सी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जिनको कि हम टोटली एक्सक्रीट करेंगे, हम रीअब्जॉर्ब नहीं करेंगे. तो यहाँ पर देखिए फॉस्फेट आयंस होते हैं HPO4, ओके, HPO4 माइनस. Okay, so how they are reabsorbed. Okay, now look at here, this portion in this diagram I am showing about the secretion part. Okay, so now look at here, this is, we have again a transporter, and this transporter is a symporter which is absorbing sodium as well as HPO4. Okay, so by this way we are absorbing what? Sodium ion and HPO4. Okay, now look at here, we have another hormone. That hormone is known as a parathyroid hormone. The hormone is known as in the blood we have a parathyroid hormone, PTH. So what PTH is doing? PTH is binding with its receptor, and this receptor is known as G protein couple receptor. Okay, this G protein couple receptor, after binding of parathyroid hormone, it activates G protein GC. Okay, and GC will further activate adenyl cyclase. It activates adenyl cyclase. Okay, adenyl cyclase can convert in cyclic AMP. Okay, and then cyclic AMP will further convert into protein kinase A. Now what protein kinase is do? Protein kinase is phosphorylating this region. Okay, protein kinase is phosphorylating this symporter. So generally what we are thinking, हम ये सोचते हैं कि ये इसको एक्टिवेट करता है, बट नहीं, ये इसको एक्टिवेट नहीं करता, ये इसको इनहिबिट करता है. It inhibit this symporter. Okay, so it inhibit this symporter. By this way HPO4 is not moving inside, it is again moving in this side. So by this way we are totally excreting HPO4. Okay everyone, you are able to understand by the action of parathyroid hormone. In the presence of parathyroid hormone we are excreting HPO4 minus. Now look at this, what is the condition, what happened when there is some changes in the pH. There are some, generally the pH of the blood is maintaining around 7.5, but what happened when pH goes down? pH goes around 7.3. अगर pH 7.3 हो जाएगी तो उस कंडीशन में क्या होगा? ओके, सो उस कंडीशन में क्या होगा उसको हम समझने का प्रयास करते हैं कि किस तरह से बॉडी जो है अगेन pH को मेंटेन करेगी. Now look at here, here we have a glutamine. What we have? A glutamine. Okay, now this glutamine is convert into two kind of compound. These compound are like NH4 or as well as SCO3. Okay, by action on acidifying action as well as oxidizing action. Clear everyone? So now this SCO3 minus ion will move in this direction with the help of a transporter. So by moving of SCO3 minus ion in this direction, the pH may goes up again. pH goes up again and reaching nearby 7.5. So when SCO3 minus moving in this side, to maintain the ionic composition, the again another ion, the chloride ion moving inside of the cell. Clear? So SCO3 माइनस आयन इस साइड में जा रहा है, ब्लड वेसल्स की साइड में जा रहा है. इसके जाने से क्या होगा? pH यहाँ SCO3 माइनस आयन जाएंगे तो ये 7.3 से pH बढ़कर कितनी हो जाएगी 7.5 हो जाएगी। और क्योंकि SCO3 माइनस आयन इस पोर्टर से गया है तो उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए यहाँ पर अगेन नेगेटिव आयन मूव करा है, तो अगेन नेगेटिव आयन का बैलेंस यहाँ पर बना रहे, इसलिए क्लोराइड आयन को यहाँ मूव कराया गया है। ओके, सो एक तरीका तो ये हुआ pH इंक्रीज करने का। ओके, क्लियर एवरीवन, दिस इज द वन वे ऑफ द टू इंक्रीज द pH। व्हाट इज द अनदर वे टू इंक्रीज द pH? ओके, so again same, this is the same way we by this way we can increase the pH. Again we have a CO2 in this way, again we have a CO2 in this area, and this CO2 is combined with H2O, and in the presence of carbonic anhydrase it is making H2CO3, and H2CO3 again in the presence of carbonic anhydrase it convert into H plus ion and HCO3 minus ion. Now this HCO3 minus ion will move in this direction. Okay, so SCO3 again moving in this direction, so by this way we are increasing again pH. Now look at here, we have another kind of drugs, like in the blood we have a what? Penicillin. Okay, and we have a cephalosporin, as well as we have a like methotrexate. Clear? And then in the blood region we have a organic acids, as well as bile salt, and we have a what? Like oxalates. Clear? So all these compounds can be secreted in the tubular region. So how we secrete them? Okay, so they can be secreted by use of ATP. They are secreted in tubular region by the use of ATP. So we are secreting them by the use of ATP and moving them into tubular region. Clear everyone? So hopefully whatever I tell you about the PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, absorption as well as secretion, you are able to understand. So if you have some doubt, then write those doubt in the comment box. Here I discuss some questions related to this section, so answer all of these questions in the comment box.
Hello everyone, now it's time for question round from renal PCT section. Question number 1, in proximal convoluted tubule, reabsorption is A. active process, B. passive process, C. active and passive process, and D. none of these. Question number 2, in proximal convoluted tubule, which compound reabsorb 100%? A. glucose, B. amino acid, C. both of these, and D. none of these. Question number 3, in proximal convoluted tubule, potassium and chloride are reabsorbed by which way? A. mostly by paracellular reabsorption, B. by endocytosis, C. are not reabsorbed by PCT, and D. none of these. Question number 4, in proximal convoluted tubule, which of the following is secreted in tubular region? A. bicarbonate, B. glucose, C. phosphate, and D. all of these. Question number 5, in healthy person's proximal convoluted tubule, what is the osmolarity of glomerular filtrate? A. 200 milliosmol per liter, 300, C 400, and D 500. So I already given answer of all of these question in my lecture, so go through with the lecture and answer in comment box.
And like the video, share the video, as well as subscribe the channel.